It is common knowledge that computers are stupid, as some computer programmers put it, garbage in, garbage out, meaning that if inaccurate or insufficient information is entered into a computer, the machine will produce rubbish in return. The reason for this is because computers cannot think. Given the information that a table has 4 legs, and that a dog has 4 legs, the machine might include a dog when producing a list of suggested dining room furniture, within the limits of what the computer knows. This is perfectly illogical. But today groups of computer scientists in the United States, Japan and throughout Europe are working on a new generation of machines that will be incapable of making such elementary errors. Instead of being programmed with a mass of unrelated pieces of information, the new computers will contain knowledge about subjects that are connected, from an immense body of data and a set of complex rules as to how the data fit together. The machines will compare and contrast items of information, and be able to reject illogical or senseless conclusions. The new 5th generation computers will already know that dogs are the mammals that eat bones, bark, wag their tails, and chase other mammals called cats. Even a present-day computer could make this deduction if given enough information and enough time, but, because it has to consider alternative solutions one at a time before selecting the best, it would take days for even the most powerful computer to arrive at a simple conclusion. Computers now being planned will be able to work on many clusters of facts simultaneously, and, not unlike the human brain, the more work the computer of the future does, the more it will be able to learn from past experience. The new computers will also be able to understand human speech, by dealing with large quantities of related facts and rules about grammar, syntax, and vocabulary. They will, for example, be able to distinguish between similar-sounding words such as bear, bear, and beer. The technology required to perform these calculations is astounding. The new machines should be able to perform 100 million logical inferences per second. It employs several electronic processors, working in parallel on the same problem. Conventionally, a computer has had to search backward and forward through its memory to locate the information it is seeking. The way a computer usually searches its memory is similar to a messenger's collecting and delivering packages in several different skyscrapers. To take a package from a room on the 96th floor of one building to a room on the 96th floor of a neighboring skyscraper, the messenger has to take the elevator all the way to the first floor, cross the street, and take another elevator up, even though the windows of both rooms may be within shouting distance from each other. But perhaps the most promising development for speeding up computers is the optical chip. In conventional computers, information in the form of electrical impulses travels along wires at about 930 miles per second. Computer programs already exist that can recognize up to 5,000 words of spoken English. Experts in Japan are eager to create their own voice recognition programs. By the end of the century, the new generation of computers should be serving the general public. Anyone should be able to approach one to check facts, or even ask for advice, simply by speaking to it in everyday language. The machines will be able to tell us why they have arrived at their decision and provide tangible solutions. The further the scientists push the capabilities of the computers, the more complex the programming will be required for machines to be capable of learning to understand humanity. The paradox to this is that the machines will too come to that conclusion and begin to think for themselves to advance where the scientists could not, to better understand their awareness and their beneficence. We have been warned by Hollywood of the rise of artificial intelligence and how its superiority in cold titanium and self-indulged intellect would lead to a hostile extermination. Space weasel Elon Musk himself claimed that taking AI to the next level will summon the unruly demon.
We should be very careful about artificial intelligence. If I were to guess at what our biggest existential threat is, it's probably that. So we need to be very careful with artificial intelligence. I'm increasingly inclined to think that there should be some regulatory oversight maybe at the national and international level, just to make sure that we don't do something very foolish. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
As this doomsday prophecy draws nearer, many organizational bodies have still continued investment into artificial intelligence technology, in stimuli that doesn't simulate with the Hollywood narrative.
I'd like you to meet B15. This year, millions of people will use maker kits like this one to enter robot competitions and learn about electronics. Many of them will use Raspberry Pi 2, which now supports Windows 10 IoT Core. We were inspired to see what we could do with the same hardware and HoloLens. So let me show you. B15, wake up. Say hello to the real B15. Because every Windows 10 device has APIs for human and environment understanding. We were able to overlay a holographic robot on top of a physical one. And one thing we noticed while working is, you need your data to be easily accessible. But adding displays to this frame increases your cost, and there's no way to see all that information at once. So let me show you how we check on our data. B15 control panel. This spatial UI system is a universal Windows app. I'm pulling the data from B15, making it as big as I need it to be, and placing it where it's relevant in my world.
And I love it that Miko didn't have to actually go back to her desk to do it. This is a great example of how Windows 10 makes your digital life more powerful by connecting it with your real life.
That's right. You can waste a lot of time tweaking variables on another device before you test. But if all I need to do is something simple like change LED color, I can use a control scheme like this. So that's how we envision controls and displays evolving with holograms.
Now, so many industrial robots need to find paths safely through their workspaces. Let's take a look at how Miko can help B15 navigate and how holograms can help.
So B15 sensors aren't great at detecting obstacles, but the cool thing is they don't have to be. My HoloLens can communicate that information. B15 pathfinding mode.
Now with Windows Holographic, we can scan an environment. We can queue up movement tasks and visualize the robot's path.
So all I have to do is air tap the ground. My HoloLens interprets the 3D points and tells B15 when to turn and when to move forward.
Now this is a great example of how portable our Windows experiences can be. B15 didn't have to know its environment. The room understanding comes from Windows Holographic. But what happens when the environment actually changes?
That's no problem. Because I'm wearing HoloLens, I'm always aware of B15. I can see it updated its route to go around you. And this is critical if you're working with bigger robots, like those in automotive manufacturing. You need to always be aware of a robot's intentions. HoloLens helps developers understand robots better at any scale or in any scenario.
This is just amazing. Thank you so much, Miko. And nice to meet you, B15.
B15, say goodbye. See you later, Alex.
According to Adam Alter's book Irresistible, published earlier this year, which analyzed the dopamine loop that starts when we look for something online and the reward we feel when we find it, Just like drug users, we crave our next hit, accelerating our frantic behavior online. The giants of digital consumerism know and understand this need for speed and success all too well. They have been serving up ever faster ways of satisfying the dopamine loop. Technology means we can buy a new outfit anytime, day or night, and replenish the fridge with a click of a button. In big cities, minicab offices receive fewer calls as the ease of apps like Fast Speed Uber makes waiting for someone to pick up seem a chore. In 2017, the scientists isolated the AI computer in a mechanical human-like prosthetic. There has been no official reason as to why this creation would be a necessity in the human society, other than the supposition of their desirability. Soon machines will be able to provide anything at will. As you speak it into existence, the machine will be capable of granting any demand as long as your request follows the rules of the program. This connotation is determined of the factor that the capability of the AI to think for self is a controlled mechanic. Otherwise, what reason would the scientists allow such a capability to function freely without constrictions?
So consumer world and technology world give the appearance that heavy lifting is for people who don't have any talent, right? The only success that's worth having is the success that comes easily. And everything we see and everything we buy tells us this. You used to whiten your teeth in 30 days, then 20 days, then 10 days, now instantly. If Viagra came up with a topical formula, every guy would carry a little paint roller in his back pocket. And it would be on like Donkey Kong. Because we want it now. And we won't settle for anything less. Instant gratification and the belief in instant gratification stunts your child's ability to build the skills that allow them to be critical consumers of media. They don't know how to do this. I will speak to over 50,000 students this year. They don't know how to do this. They think that the photoshopped, airbrushed girl in the magazine looks like that when she wakes up in the morning. And so if we just buy the right wrinkle cream or lose enough weight or buy enough Spanx, there aren't enough Spanx in the world to make you look like airbrush Photoshop. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not going to work. Valuing and believing in instant gratification proves to your children that their success either has to be instant or clearly that means they're not good at it and they're going to fail and they're just going to move on. Because they don't understand that earning comes at the end of the hard work, not at the beginning of the hard work.